Hey y'all, it's your girly Cal, and welcome back to my dating show. This is actually episode 3, so if you have been watching from episode 1 to now, thank you so much. You could have spent your Corona time anywhere else, but you chose to give me about 9 or 10 minutes of your time, so thank you so much. And welcome to any new viewers, of course. So this week, we're gonna get a little deeper. I'm gonna share a personal story with you, and it's just your reward for hanging out, and I hope you enjoy it or take it as a cautionary tale. I'm not sure. All right, so this is the worst date that I have ever been on with an artist. Let's go. Let me tell you the thing. The year was, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. I'm gonna say it was like maybe 3 years ago, I would say. Yeah, about that. So, I'm just doing my thing. I'm an artist. I'm minding my own business. I'm going out to shows. I'm going out to these like conferences and events, and like whoever is having a party where it's like, oh yeah, this is the dope party. This is where you should be. I'm doing that. I'm doing my thing, right? So, in doing that, obviously, you meet people. So I was on Facebook minding my own business, and I get a friend request from this artist that I had seen around before. Yeah, so I accept the friend request, and this is somebody I've seen around. I've seen some people who he's worked with, whatever. Like, he's not famous, like, he's not on TV. Well, he was like on some TV, like back in the day. When Much Music had music and things were live, and there was Much on Demand and Rhapsody and all that stuff. Is back in those days. So he's like a bit older than me, but to be honest, I'm not sure how much older. Because, we didn't get that far. But let me tell you what happened. So then, he adds me on Facebook, and we're talking, just like, little messenger conversations here and there, nothing too crazy, like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Nothing crazy, whatever. And for me, I'm just like, okay, well, clearly you added me for a reason, and clearly you ain't trying to collab, so, like, why are you scared? Just ask me to hang out, ask me on a date, whatever. But, like, I'm not trying to rush the dude either, because dudes be feeling all emasculated when you, like, rush them, whatever. I don't know. It's complicated. So I just left it, and the conversation kind of dried up, because I was like, okay, like, what's this man want from me? Like, nothing's happening. So I go out to a party, like the ones I mentioned, and I see him there, IRL. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Like, is he gonna talk to me? Cause like, nah, you added me on Facebook, bruh. You messaged me, so. So then he does talk to me, and he's with his weird cousin. I don't know. So they're both trying to talk to me. It's weird. Like, he's talking to me here, then his cousin talking to me there. It was all, I don't know, man. But like, long story short, I got both numbers, cause like, why not? You never know what's gonna go on these days. Like, these days, people are out here trying to make that love connection, but aren't actually trying to. Like, obviously, they want to like take you home and have a good time in bed, which is great and all. But like, if you're out here saying you want more, you have to act like you want more, and people ain't trying to do that. So it's like, you gotta have multiple numbers, and then when you figure out like who's actually trying to say what you want them to say, you obviously lead in that direction. So I was like, whatever. So we're talking, and this guy's trying to talk to me. It's loud as fuck in this club, whatever. And he's just like, yo, I have you on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then he's like, yo, well, I know you took my cousin's number. I'm like, okay. He was like, I'm the better man. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, well, show me. And then that's where the date started. So from here on out, when I'm him, I'm gonna put these on so you know I'm a waste man. Okay? Okay. So this guy was like, meet me at this intersection at this time. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna say where it took place, but it was like, I don't know what to exactly call this area. I'll say it was close to like the Oakwood area. It wasn't exactly there, but it was around there. So like, I was doing some studio work that day. So I leave, I go to meet up with this guy, and he's alright, he's wearing those hoodman glasses. And then he has his hair like up, and then wearing a jersey. It's summertime, so like, summertime cool. You wanna go get a drink? Real voice, by the way. Well, then I was like, okay, sure. So we go to this bar not too far away, and for the most part, we're having fun. Like, whatever, we're drinking beer, we're talking about shit, whatever, artist this, artist that. But like, this guy, Let me tell you how he was so full of himself. Yo, I got 1 million views on YouTube. Like, yo, like, you understand? Like, yo, I've been here, I've been there, I've toured there, I've done this, I've done that. Like, yo, I've worked with this person. La 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 la. Rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, cool, cool. But before the date, I had actually researched him, and let me tell you how
He does not have 1 million views on YouTube.
like that's not the million. Don't be rounding it up because it's not 1 million views. Like YouTube ain't sending you no plaque saying, "Ooh, you got 999 some views." That's not how it works. So don't be saying that. Don't be rounding up. So he's there saying that, and he's just talking about all the shit that he's done. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, if that's the case, why are you so accessible? Why are you just adding me on Facebook? And we're at a dive bar, by the way. So it's like, I'm okay with the dive bar, but it's like, don't tell me you have all these connections and you've been all these places and done all these things, but then we're drinking in a dive bar and you're trying to like make your case for like how good you are. Ridiculous. We're at the dive bar, whatever, talking, having our mini pictures. And yeah, I'm ready to go because it's like, I don't know, like people are, it's loud. It's not great atmosphere, do you know what I mean? You can't really talk too much. And also like maybe a change of scenery would just help him become a better speaker. I don't know. But anyhow, so he's like, are you ready to go? And I'm like, sure. And my whole thing is, if you take me on a date, and it's our first date, I am fully expecting you to pay. That's just it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, if you can afford certain places, don't be taking me certain places. Like, you know, live within your means. But anyhow, he was gonna pay. So it's like, okay, all right. Let me tell you what the man did. So our server is this cute little Asian girl, probably like an international student. Like, she's trying to learn her English and hold down her education or whatever. So we're done drinking, and this man gets up. This gets up. Then I'm just like, are you not gonna pay for these beverages? And then the girl comes and she's all alarmed. She's like, oh, you have to pay, you have to pay. And he's all like, no, I don't have to pay. I'm like, obviously looking the fuck around because what are you doing? So, yo, I don't have to pay. The owner knows me. Tell him it's me. Tell him it's me. Tell him it's me. It's insert name here. Tell him. So he's just there yelling at this poor girl who was obviously alarmed. And like, if you've ever been a server, obviously if your tabs are coming up short, you gotta pay. So this girl is obviously like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, yo, like, it's my illegal job, okay? Like, what are you doing? She's just all alarmed. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And no, let me tell you how the bill wasn't even that much, first of all. You know, dive bars have their drink specials and stuff. So this was not even $15. If I remember correctly, it was like $11. It was not a lot of money. I could have paid, but again, I told you I don't pay, so I didn't pay. But anyhow, so he's still there just yelling at this girl, and he just says, let's go. And then he just like takes my hand and we're going. And he's just there yelling like, yo, like, just tell him, it's okay, it's fine, like, I'll call him and I'll tell him. So, yeah, we continue our weird date. So, some of you may be wondering, like, Ikel, why didn't you just leave? This man's obviously insane. But I think my toxic trait is I like to see how fucked up situations end. So I was like, this is gonna be a good story, clearly, for the, you know, for the future book that is my life that turns into a movie, so I'm gonna see what happens. So we walk down the street to our next destination. He's all like, are you hungry? Yeah, so we go to the store together as some weird little posse, and it's weird. So then he says to me, yo, you wanna get a drink? The pizza store was a bit busy, so like I'm like, sure, of course I want to drink with my pizza. So we go in the convenience store across the street, and I'm searching for a drink. He's there talking to his weird friend, and yeah. So I come across the drink that I like. It is Blue Powerade. So I take my Blue Powerade and I go to the front where he's with his friend. He has some drink. I don't remember what he had, and I don't really care. But I got my blue Powerade. So I'm like, here, I give him the blue Powerade. This man says, yo, this girl picked out $1 million drink. Like, full turnaround too in the whole store, and obviously people are watching and are concerned. So I'm just like, should I put it back? And he's all like, yo, mans aren't broke. Whatever, it's fine. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, yo, why is he so mad? Like, yo, like, you know how they be having the 2 for $3? I think it was like one of those. And without those, are the drinks just not like $2? I don't understand. But anyhow, it was a big deal. But like, he paid because, you know, he's just such a good person, apparently. So we left. The friend's still with us, by the way. So now we go to the pizza store and we get the walk-in special. And then he's just, again, being so extra. So this girl's just there trying to like cash it out, whatever. She's clearly new and just, you know, needs some time. So she's just like, so she's new. She's just trying to figure it out, you know. And then he's all like, hurry up. Obviously alarming the girl. And yo, for a second of all, this man just paid in like couch change. I'm just like, yo, this man is just doing a little too much right now. And then he dashes the couch change. The girl gets all startled. She's counting the change. And the guy has to help her because she's still obviously learning like Canadian money. And it's just a whole thing. And yes, the friend is still there. So we just wait for friend, you know, to get his slice or whatever the fuck he was getting. We got our pizza and then we left together for some reason. So, you know, we start to walk back to where this dude lives. You know, we get there. A random friend goes to his apartment, which he should have done from the damn beginning. We go to his, you know, and we're there. We're eating pizza. I don't remember what we were watching on TV. It doesn't really matter. But we were just chilling. And, you know, this was not no lavish apartment for somebody who had, you know, been on touring his whole life. Like, in fact, since he was a baby, you know, just living his life, going on tours, doing this and that, and working for all these different people. Like, you know, you would think this would be like one of those nice condos with the city view. But first of all, the area where we were doesn't even have that. And then, it was a walk-up, yo. There was no elevator. I'm not trying to clown that way of life. There's nothing wrong with that building, nothing wrong with that area. But it's like, yo, don't be out here trying to say you're this top dude making all this money and that's where you live. Like, just say you're a normal person and you live a normal life. And I would have been like, okay, cool. But like, y'all lying out here. And of course, one of my greatest pet peeves is when they sleep on a mattress on the floor. And that's what I had seen. And I was just like, no, this just can't go on. This can't go on. So to fast forward the story, like, you know, had the pizza, you know, chilled out, drank my damn $1 million Powerade, you know, was potentially gonna do some things like maybe, because you know what they say, like the more waste a man, the more better the be. Like, I don't know that that's true, but like, mans couldn't even really move his. I was very confused. But what I found out on a separate occasion was a man's was in love with the Coco. So it all, you know, it all makes sense now. The erratic behavior, the yelling, the craziness. It all makes sense. But this is all to say that, you know, my daters out there, be careful who you meet. Like, people will say anything to you, especially when they're an artist who feels that they should be further along than where they are. Like, that's obviously due to their work ethic. And I know that shit does happen, but like, how long are you gonna blame someone else and actually pick up the shit on the floor that is what you feel like you are in right now and just start to clean it up? Like, you know, when are you gonna call the manager and be like, hey, I want to be doing this? When are you gonna call the producer and be like, hey, let's work on this? Like, you know, when are you gonna start? Not now, then when? Especially that particular person out there with kids and stuff, living a crazy haphazard life. I don't know, but you know, that's why I just say, own your shit, be true to yourself, and just try your best. But yes, thank you for watching, and tune in again next week where we'll talk about some more craziness dating artists.